Meet Alex. They clock in just over half an hour of studying each day, consistently sleep 8 hours a night, hang out with friends regularly, and still land in the top 5% of their class. How? Most of their study time is spent doing practice questions and teaching tricky topics to their peers. Not hours of passive reading, not endless note-taking. Just efficient, high-impact learning that actually sticks. The kind that makes a difference without draining your soul. Now meet Jordan. Jordan grinds for 240 minutes daily, gives up sleep, barely sees their friends, and despite all that, they're barely holding on to a B average. Their study method? Endless highlighting, rereading the same pages, and notebooks stuffed with colorful yet ineffective notes that feel satisfying, but don't stick. It's the illusion of progress without the payoff. So what's the real difference here? It's not about being smarter. It's not about working harder. It's not even about having better luck or some secret genetic advantage. The difference? It's how they study, not how long. But hold up. Before we dive in, I want you to do something real quick. On a scale of 1 to 5, how effective do you think your current study method is? Got your number? Awesome. Keep it in mind. Because by the end of this video, you might just want to lower it. Or hey, maybe level it up entirely. Also, I'm going to walk you through the exact study strategy that took me from being a B and C student to someone pulling straight A's without losing my mind or my social life. The night it clicked. Picture this. I'm in my tiny dorm room. Junior year. Coffee cups litter the desk. Notebooks everywhere. My desk lamp flickering like a bad omen. It was 2 a.m., and I'd been glued to my chair for 10 hours straight, cramming for a mathematical midterm. I was doing everything students are told to do. Highlighting like a maniac. Rereading chapters. Handwriting neat. Color-coded notes. I looked like a model student on the outside. It looked productive. But on the inside, I knew something was wrong. All that info just wouldn't stick. My brain felt full and empty at the same time. It felt like I was pouring water into a sieve. I was tired, wired, and going nowhere fast. The wake-up call. And here's the kicker. I bombed that test. Not just a bad grade. A spectacular failure. The kind that stings for days and makes you question your entire approach to school and maybe even your future. But that failure turned out to be the wake-up call I needed. I had to face a painful truth. I didn't know how to study. Not really. I was just pretending to be productive, stuck in a loop of busy work that felt like progress, but wasn't. And guess what? I wasn't alone. The productivity illusion. Let's talk about the biggest trap students fall into. The productivity illusion. We trick ourselves into believing that time spent equals progress made. We highlight entire chapters until our books look like neon abstract art. We reread the same paragraph over and over, hoping it'll magically lodge itself in our brains. We write beautiful, elaborate notes, then never look at them again. Sound familiar? Yeah, we've all been there. You know you're stuck in this trap when you spend more time picking a highlighter color than understanding the actual concept. Your study playlist takes 50 minutes to perfect, and you've barely opened your textbook. You're exhausted after studying, but still can't remember anything the next day. This isn't really your fault. No one actually teaches us how to learn. We're told to study more, review the whole chapter, or put in the hours. But here's the truth. Studying isn't about time. It's about technique. About working with your brain, not against it. The consumption myth. Here's where most people go wrong. What I call the consumption trap. The idea that the more you consume, more videos, more pages, more hours, the more you'll learn. It's a comforting lie, but still a lie. Your brain doesn't just soak up information like a sponge. It needs to engage with it, train it, challenge it, like an athlete in the gym. And like a muscle, your brain also needs rest and recovery to grow stronger. Just like lifting heavier weights doesn't automatically make you stronger unless your form is right. More study time doesn't equal better grades unless your method is solid. The formula that changed everything. Here's a simple formula that flipped my whole approach. Actual learning equals amount of info times retention rate. Let's break that down. Imagine 2 students. Student 1 studies for 4 hours but only remembers 10%. Student 2 studies for 1 hour but retains 50%. Both walked away with the same result. But student 1 wasted 4 hours they'll never get back. And think about it. If you're spending 4 times longer to learn the same thing, eventually, burnout kicks in. Frustration builds. Motivation drops. And when that happens, game over. Quality over quantity. If you grind for 4 hours and remember only 10%, you've really only absorbed 30 minutes worth of learning. But if you study for just 60 minutes and retain half of it, you've won back your time and your sanity. That's not laziness. That's efficiency. That's leverage. Now, what if I told you that studying less could actually boost your grades? Sounds wild, right? Especially with all those study 8 hours or fail YouTube gurus screaming at you. Yeah, ignore that noise. Active learning, the game changer. When I started studying less, my grades started climbing. Here's the difference. Before, I was drowning in passive learning, rereading, highlighting, rewriting notes. But once I switched to active learning, everything changed. Practice quizzes, teaching concepts out loud, even to my dog, explaining theories to a friend over coffee, connecting topics to real-life examples or memes I'd seen online. Suddenly, I went from remembering 15% to locking in 75%. Think of passive studying like trying to fill a leaky bucket. You keep pouring in information, but it just slips out. Active learning is like patching those holes first. So when you pour knowledge in, it actually stays. Result? My study time dropped by half. My GPA skyrocketed. My sleep recovered. And for the first time in forever, I didn't feel like I was barely surviving school. I was thriving. The 6-point study plan. So now you're probably thinking, okay, how do I study smarter and actually remember stuff? Glad you asked. Here's the exact method that worked for me. Keep it short. Study in chunks of 30 to 60 minutes per subject. Anything more, and your focus drops off a cliff. Short bursts, more often, beat marathon sessions every time. Trust your brain's natural attention span. Quiz yourself first. Try to recall what you know before reviewing. This forces your brain to retrieve info, the key to long-term memory. Target your weak spots. Don't waste time reviewing what you've already nailed. Focus on what confuses you. Work smarter. Go active. Use flashcards, explain ideas out loud, teach someone else, or apply the concepts to questions and scenarios. Link ideas together. Build connections between topics. The more ways your brain can access a fact, the more likely you are to remember it. Review before bed. A quick 10-minute review before sleeping helps lock the material into your long-term memory. It's like setting your brain's save button. Reflect and upgrade. Now go back to that score you gave your study methods earlier. Still think it deserves that number? If not, that's your first clue that it's time to level up. But here's the good news, now you know how. And it doesn't take a miracle, just a method. Final words. Thanks for sticking around. If this helped even a little, share it with someone who's still stuck in highlight hell. You've got this. Seriously. Studying smarter isn't just about grades. It's about getting your life back. More sleep, more joy, more confidence, less stress, less burnout, less feeling like you're always behind. So start small. Pick one tactic. Try it today. And when it clicks, welcome to the Alex side. Smart way up. Be productive. Thanks for watching Smart Way Up. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, write what you liked, and what can be improved. Subscribe for more useful content. Together we grow, learn, and keep moving. See you in the next videos. Good luck.